Hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. My name is May.
And my name is Mr. Ibk.
His name is Ibk. I don't know why he's adding Mr. to his name.
Mr. Ibk. You guys know me by Mr. Ibk, right?
So my full name is actually Oluwamayokun, but everyone calls me May. So
May, I call you May Baby.
My dad calls me May Baby.
I call you May Baby too.
What you feel like? So yeah, we're going to be sharing a part of our lives that people have guessed, people have tried to understand. We're basically opening our lives to you guys. In all honesty, we have become very private people, but the Lord impressed it strongly on my heart, and Ibk had a witness in his spirit too, that we need to do this for people transitioning, waiting, or just in the place where they don't even know what's going on in their lives, because we've been there, we've been there, we've done that. And so I hope that this ministers to you really, because this is not just about gist. You get a lot of gist, but this is not about gist. This is about just God speaking to you. So pick out the places that you need to learn, you need to know, and all of that.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you a question. 2019 crossing over into 2020, did you see all of this happening? When I say all of this, I mean everything that has happened since 2020 till now.
Couldn't have guessed. I've been broken, shattered, repaired.
Yeah.
I've felt joy. I felt every emotion feelable, so I couldn't have imagined.
Yeah, and thinking that at the time we were in Abuja, we had everything. We had a good house, car, I had a studio.
We were very comfortable. Yeah, that's what he's trying to say with all this talk. We were
wonderful
very, very
people, beautiful church family, and all of that. So, yeah, where do you want to start from?
So, I want to start from, where did this all start for you? Where did this journey, this 3-year journey, where did it start?
I think 2020, the prophecy.
Did it start from the prophecy, or did it start with Bio wanting me?
Okay, yeah, so
we had our child in May 2020.
Ivan in May 2020.
Our first child.
Yeah. And of course, her family wasn't there because her mom and dad, they live in Ibadan, and her siblings all live in Canada. So Bio is her sister. After Ivan was born, wanted you to come.
They don't really care about me. It's the child they wanted to see. And so they insisted that we come to Canada. So my immediate younger sister, Bio, started the application.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Bio started applying for all three of us to come to Canada. And then we can now move to the prophecy.
Yeah, so my parents were in my house because we just had a baby and they were helping out with taking care of the kid. And so there's this prayer meeting we attend. My parents have been friends with Brother Taiwo before they got married. So I would say over 35 years. And he's someone that we can trust as a person. That what he says is what God says. And he said a word of prophecy, and the international door is opening onto Ibk. Ibk, what did you think that meant when Mom and I told you?
Yeah, so when I got back from rehearsal and you guys told me about the prophecy, of course, in my mind, the way I interpreted it was I'll put out a song, or one of the songs I've already put out will just blow for some reason, and, okay, the next big boy worship leader in town, and, of course, our sound has gone through all the ends of the earth. They'll start calling us in Canada, London, America. That's practically what I thought the prophecy meant.
At the time?
Yeah.
Now, do you know it meant something else?
Of course, absolutely.
Okay. So, where do we go from there?
Yes, so that was, that happened, and because Bio and your siblings had already started the application to visit Canada.
Yeah.
I decided to go online. I told you that, okay, now that we are visiting Canada, I can't just go there and just be
smiling.
I don't like to be in a place where I cannot fellowship with people or lead worship or something. So I went.
He likes the activity.
Yeah, so I went online and started, surfing the internet to just look for churches or get familiar with churches in Canada, especially in Winnipeg, where we'll be visiting to, see what the worship culture is like and all of that. Then I stumbled on a website called Indeed.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, so of course, Indeed.com is a place where you
put up your portfolio and then you can apply if you want.
And you can apply for jobs. I didn't go in to apply for jobs, but of course, since I was there already, I said, okay, let's just have fun. I started applying for worship leading jobs and all of that, and I stumbled on a church that is not even in Canada.
Yeah, I think I made fun of you at that time. I'm like, why you apply? Like, we're coming back.
And I was like, Aliso.
Aliso is like, I can't tell.
Sorry,
anything
guys,
can happen.
I know I'm speaking Yoruba.
He's a Yoruba boy. Forget his white skin. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So I just decided to put in an application for the job in a church that wasn't even in Canada.
Yeah, and then the pastor calls you a few days after.
Yeah, 3 days after I received a call from the pastor.
And it was like you guys had known each other forever.
Yeah, we spoke, and it was different after we spoke. Of course, before he called, I just said, okay, it's one of those applications. They may not even want a Nigerian and all of that. But 3 days after, he calls, and it was a good conversation.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll pause on that because we'll go into details about that in the next video. So towards the end of 2020, you kept bugging me about wanting to leave our home, leave our friends, leave our church. What was going on with you?
I was in a bad place. Of course, long-standing issues that I had not dealt with. My relationship with the Lord wasn't as solid as I would want it to be. And one of the things that I tell worship leaders or people I have the opportunity to direct is one of the greatest instruments of a worship leader is your heart.
And your heart was in a bad place.
My heart was not in a good place. And if the heart is not in a good place, then what's the essence? No matter how beautiful the voice sounds or how skillful I can play the keyboard, there's just always that contradiction between the gift.
Okay, you know what, IPK, do you know that in that time, I don't think I've ever told you this, but in that time, I actually did notice a disconnect when you were like leading worship. Like I wasn't like really connecting, but I didn't know what was going on with you.
Well, you will know. You will notice the disconnect.
Because I have a relationship with you. Yeah.
But of course, people won't know. As a matter of fact, those seasons are seasons where people will come to you and say, you blessed me. But deep down in your heart, something is not quite right.
Yeah, but I don't think I even mentioned it to you at that time. I was just like, maybe he's having a bad day or something. So I didn't know what was going on. But you kept pressing about just being away, retreating, and then you started to draw back from all the activities. So I decided to give in at the time. And then we went to Ibadan.
In December 2020.
Yes. So at the time, our pastors called us and then gave us like really good counsel. And so we went back.
In January 2021.
Towards the end of January, actually. We went back to Abuja. I was happy to be back, trust me. I renovated my house.
We moved
the studio out of the house to a business complex and all of that. Like, that was great. But I noticed that it was just like things got worse. Because there was just that, and we were fighting a lot. Yeah. I remember, like, we were just fighting a lot. So when it happened,
and in the middle of all of this, Ivan was in the middle of all of that.
Yes, which was like really terrible.
Yeah. So we decided to leave Abuja.
Yes, and when I say leave, like we literally left everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
So I think we can actually take a little time and talk about that because I'm not good at goodbyes. I don't like goodbyes. So
Why did you think? Actually, let me ask you, IBK. Why did you think it was a goodbye? Why didn't you think that you were going to just go for a while and come back?
I don't know.
Okay, so you don't know, but you just felt like it was goodbye.
Yeah, I just felt like it was goodbye. I couldn't.
At the time, you didn't understand.
I didn't understand at the time, but even if it was goodbye for the next 3 months or 6 months, I'm very much in love with everything that we had going on in Abuja. You remember that was even the time we did a promo and we made a lot of money.
We did make a lot of money.
Please
Thank you guys for patronizing my husband.
Wait, don't come for me. It's not a lot of money like that. We made a lot of money. The monies were also diverted into musicians and all of that. Before you people start pinging me now, so you made money out of my job. No problem. But what I'm trying to say is we were
in a good place financially.
And we had amazing friends. I can't mention their names now, but that attachment with those people wasn't something you could just turn your back against, or wasn't something I could just turn my back against. But I knew the feeling. I knew how I was feeling, how I needed help. I knew that the Lord was leading us out to the unknown. Out of our comfort zone to the unknown.
And in all honesty, it was hard to explain to people. I think I lied to a couple of people. I'm sorry if you're watching this, but I think I lied that I was relocating because I couldn't really put into words what was going on with us at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I needed to give people an answer, and so I said that. And so we left for Ibadan. He moved back to his in-laws' house. Yeah. How ridiculous does that sound?
Well, I must say that your parents are one of the most amazing...
You make their head swell.
Yeah, that's the plan. They are one of the most amazing human beings that I have come to know. Not stressful, not judgmental. They are just...
And they did give us space, so that was great.
They are just different. You know the way in counseling we've heard a lot of things that in-laws are this, in-laws are that. It wasn't like that with them.
Maybe because you're white. They are trying to please you. So
that's how we moved. Of course, we had a conversation with our pastors then.
Yes, and they did release us.
And they did, give their blessing and all of that. So we moved to Ibadan.
Yes, and so what happened with you?
So in Ibadan, I don't think I have ever prayed and studied the word like I did in Ibadan. Of course, the second week, things were a bit like the same, but we kept on praying. And as we kept on praying and studying the word, because at the time you made sure I didn't do ministry.
Did I make sure? Did you decide?
No, of course.
I now sound like a tyrant.
No, not a tyrant. You are my wife. You know what's best for me. Even when I wanted to collect ministry gigs, you were like,
is that what you need?
I think you should just chill and sort out what it is between you and the Lord and all of that. So, so we decided, okay, no ministry. Let's just put our heads in the word and pray. And we started praying. That went on for 6 months.
We did nothing else.
Yeah.
I mean nothing else.
So
shout out to my parents for putting food on the table. Thank you guys.
I don't think I have ever prayed like that in my entire life. Sometimes my wife will look at me like, you are the one waking up in the middle of the night to pray for hours.
It was actually shocking. Because IBK does his sleep. Even me, I cannot disturb his sleep. But he woke up, he couldn't sleep. He was just spending time praying. And so what happened in the 6 months?
Yeah, so in the 6 months, I can't explain. You would be able to tell because you knew who I was. And when I say who I was, it wasn't like I was a bad guy.
No, he didn't used to beat me. I promise.
I'm not a bad guy. But
yes, but he was a bad guy too.
Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah, so you knew my disposition towards you. You knew.
Yeah, you were a transformed person in the 6 months.
So by the 6th month, my wife woke up one day and looked up and said, something has happened to you. And I think towards the end of the 6th month, we slept and I had a dream. In the dream, there were a lot of people gathered, and there was a particular person that I won't mention his name, and I was there leading worship. And as I was leading worship, the person came to touch me, and as he touched me, I saw the number 6 boldly written in that dream, and I woke up. So you know how it is with people who have dreams and wake up from the dream and almost know what to say in interpreting that dream. You understand what I'm saying? Because the moment I woke up, I just knew where to go to in the Bible. I can't explain it. It was a leading of the Spirit, I believe. So the moment I woke up, I grabbed my Bible and I opened Genesis. And that scripture says, I think it was Genesis 2, on the 6th day when the Lord had finished creating. And the Lord saw all that he made, and he saw that it was good, and he approved it. And the moment I took my eyes off the word, I heard the Lord say to me, you have been approved.
Wow. I feel like that's when the next episode we'll talk about the waiting, but I think that's when the waiting actually started. Because when God says, okay, you're good, like, you're approved, you expect that things just move from there. But I think it was different for us. Yeah. And like in retrospect, we understand why, but then I think we'll talk about that in the next episode. Before we end
this episode, I must also mention that after the call we had with the pastor in 2020, maybe the next episode you get to know the pastor's name. But after the call I had with the pastor in 2020, an amazing pastor, the church decided to employ me.
Yeah.
And they started the process of getting the work visa, but the particular work visa wasn't going to come out in 3 months or in 6 months.
It was
going to take a long time.
But they were willing to wait. And so thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned a thing or two from this episode, and I hope you join us for the next one. Have a lovely night.
Peace.